proceedings, county court, probate court, and juvenile court to the annex. The individual phrasing used by the movement is insufficient to contradict the minutes. If minutes of the Commissioners' Court are to be modified or corrected, the matter would be needed to be placed on the Commissioners' Court agenda and considered by the full court. And to again use the 31st meeting as an example, before those minutes could be altered, they would need to be brought back to the Commissioners' Court for consideration. Upon considering proposed revisions, the Commissioners' Court could simply confirm that the action taken, when considered in context, is intended to move all of its proceedings listed on the agenda, despite the phrasing of the motion itself. If the Commissioners' Court were to so conclude, it could simply find that the original minutes were accurate and reject the proposed language. Similarly, Texas courts have found that when an action has been inadvertently omitted from the minutes from the Commissioners' Court, the action is not invalidated. In the Meckham case, for example, the Commissioners' Court voted to authorize the conveyance of real property, but the clerk neglected to record the action in the official minutes. Subsequently, acting in the direction of the Commissioners' Court, the judge executed a deed conveying the property. When challenged, the court listed a litany of similar cases, did not deem in defect the minutes to be fatal to the action taken by the judge. Conclusion and recommendation, as stated above and for the reasons outlined, a vote of the majority of the Commissioners' Court is required to modify and or amend or correct its minutes. A unilateral correction of the minutes by the county clerk is not authorized and is contrary to the century of jurisprudence on this matter.
And I did talk to the county attorney, and I will ask the county attorney if he would get an opinion from the Attorney General's office on that as well. Just because the local government code does say they no longer have to be approved by court. It's a courtesy and a tradition. If you want to continue that, that's fine. But it only has to be attested to. And if I'm attesting to the minutes and I make a mistake and then I make the amendment correction, which did say amendment correction, and I attest to that, then because if you're approving something, if the court's approving something that is not correct or that I didn't write, which is what I did, I know it doesn't negate anything that happened in that meeting. It doesn't change any of the moves or anything. It's just that for 2 years I've been consistent in how I've done the minutes, and I want to make sure that I stay with the consistency. And I made an error in that set of minutes in a motion that was made, and I went back to correct that motion to remain consistent throughout the minutes. So.
But I think another thing that I saw is usually when we do an amendment to the minutes, or when something is done to move the minutes, usually you don't ever capture anything verbatim because you told us that you're not a court clerk. I mean, not a court reporter.
Correct.
And this was done, and this was just done in an intent. It's been going on back and forth. I've got numerous emails from Joe and everybody else, and that's why I did call Jim Allison. And because there's the constant, legal, I'm going to sue you. We have people, in this county, they get up in the morning and they put on their lawsuit, and they come to Commissioner's Court.
Well, and again, I was called out on the minutes being incorrect, but if the motion is made by somebody and they read verbatim from the agenda, then I don't put verbatim what they say. I just put that the action will be taken. But if anything deviates from this motion, from the agenda item, I do write those verbatim. That's been consistent for 2 years. And so that's what I did with that one.
And I think that in light of counsel and Jim Allison, who you guys can all call Jim Allison, he's your counsel just as much as he is anybody else. He's South Texas judges and, Texas judges and commissioners. Well, I say South Texas judges, so think of the conference. But he's judges and commissioners. You guys can call him yourself, and I think until a legal opinion is rendered otherwise, or until Mr. Hancock can find an Attorney General opinion that would defute that, I think it would be best that we all know what's being said, because if the minutes are changed and we don't know, or say that she makes a mistake and we don't know, and it's not my job to bring it to you, it needs to come to the court.
But I did send you a copy of it.
Right.
That's why I emailed it to you.
But I want it to go to the court. I don't want it to come through me.
And it can go to the court for recognition, but I don't think that it needs the court's approval.
But we do speak through our minutes until we get that done. And maybe it'd be best if we just put the reading of minutes back on the agenda. I'll just start putting them back on here, and that will save a lot of...
Mr. Hancock's going to give an Attorney General's opinion on it, you asked him?
Can you do that for me, Mr. Hancock? Can you obtain an Attorney General's opinion on that?
It'll take a while.
And so until we get that, we'll put the reading and the amendment and the correction back on the agenda.
I know, Carol, what you're saying, and I've read that same thing too, that the clerk doesn't have to read the minutes.
Right. But you can put them on the agenda to read for you guys.
Yeah.
And to amend and or correct. It's just what most boards actually do in general. I'm on like 5 or 6 different ones, and we all run by the exact same rules, and we do the exact same things. School boards do it, city councils do it. Everybody does it. I've never seen anybody really not do it. so.
But it does say the clerk shall attest to the accuracy, so
Yes.
anything you change, even though you vote on it, if it's changed and it's not accurate, then I can't attest to it. So you can put it back on to read, that'd be great.
And then we can do the amendments and our corrections there, and everybody will be on the same page. Okay? I read that legal opinion, did I hand it to you?
No, you didn't.
You give me my copy?
That's fine.
Thanks.
Number 18 is to discuss, approve, disapprove use of the multipurpose room and meeting room located at 210 West Calvert as public meeting rooms as deemed necessary for county business or needs, benefits for the county. I put that on there. We had a San Antonio River Authority meeting the other night, and I had signed up with the county clerk's office, and my people were kind of told that it wasn't a public meeting room.
Wait, you signed up with my office?
No, I signed up with Denise for the multipurpose.
We said
room.
county clerks.
Oh, I'm sorry, Denise. And anyway, we have San Antonio River Authority and people coming in, and what they were coming in for is they're wanting to give us $800,000 to $1 million to be able to invest in city parks. I say city parks, they're all over the county. I mean, they're not just picking municipalities, they're picking all kinds of places, and we had a big workshop where everybody could get up and be interactive and do whatever, and anyway, I don't want to run into another situation where we're told it's not a public meeting room. If we're conducting business for the county, we do have that room if it's not in use, or the break room where they also do, I think Sheriff is doing Border Star in there, and they're doing Weight Watchers. I know that they're doing, Lorraine's doing jail meetings and stuff in there. Just when we have business that's for the county, and we're setting up stuff that's going to benefit the county, I want them to be able to use rooms that are here for the county to be able to get their business conducted.
The only problem with the night that Sarah was here was that nobody else was here yet, and they didn't know who they were supposed to meet, and it was 5 o'clock, everybody was leaving, and because they weren't county employees, nobody felt comfortable leaving them in the building without a county employee there. It would have been, the doors would have been open, we had no idea who would be in and out, so they didn't know who they were supposed to meet here.
Sheriff. Actually, they were supposed to meet the sheriff, and the night of the River Authority meeting,
Yes, ma'am.
they were supposed to meet the sheriff. Him and I had gotten together, I guess, in court a couple of days before, and I had another meeting. And I think they just got here a little before the sheriff and I thought they were going to get here. And so we could have just told him to wait outside, and I called the sheriff, and he did come, and we let him in and made sure that it all worked. I just wanted to make sure that,
They were still inside though, they didn't have to stand outside.
I just
They
want to
were
make sure
still
that we use
My-
these buildings. I
My
mean,
question is this, okay, who's the contact person to use that building after hours or during hours? Is it gonna be-
Denise, the multipurpose
No.
room. Denise.
I am only during business hours, the 8
Oh,
to-
because I called Mary Ann, and she said, I'll write your name down.
Okay.
So you might want to talk to your staff about that, because they booked me in.
Well, I'll talk to her about that.
Okay.
But it's usually just the 8 to 5. I don't recall, I did not get.
Well, there's a right whiteboard over there by that other room. Is there
That's
any
for
way?
the meeting room. The
Is there any-
actual multi-purpose room is where I keep that calendar. And all our courts are in there. And whenever we need, anyone needs dates, JPs, TDC, they will call me and I will let them know if that date is available or not.
So in the evening, you don't keep track of anything?
No,
So we could use that right whiteboard over there to keep track of stuff too, if we had people coming in?
I don't use that for.
I mean, I'm saying if we needed to use it, I mean, this building belongs to the taxpayers. It was paid for by the taxpayers. If somebody wants to come in and give us $1 million, I really don't want to tell them no.
I agree, they should use that
responsible.
Right, so as long as somebody with the keys with
Willing
them.
to be
Right,
there.
a county employee,
But
a
at
county
that point,
employee.
their contact person was no longer working there, so they had no idea who they were supposed to
Yeah.
meet here. And that was the problem. Nobody was here to lock or unlock for them, and that was the only problem.
But I just-
We asked them.
So we're looking for a contact person.
Well, I think whoever sets it up, we can write it on that whiteboard.
But I guess we need to have one person designated after hours to say, do they come to your office and say, hey, I need this meeting room after 7 o'clock tonight?
One thing is whoever is setting up the meeting, like if it's a meeting for training for county employees, then whoever is setting up that meeting should be responsible for it.
But everybody would be notified that this is going
Right.
to take place.
Right.
I mean, I'm more than willing to keep the calendar after hours, if that's what's necessary. I mean, Sylvia can just write it down if somebody's gonna have something, that's not a big deal. Just make it available.
And your office will open and close for them?
Whoever's doing it, like if you're doing something in that multi-purpose room, if you're having a meeting of area treasurers, you go do it. I'll give you my key and you can go do
Oh,
it.
no, I will not have a key to this building.
But, I mean, I'm not gonna, I mean, but when I'm letting people in for county business, it's not gonna be people other than ACOG, San Antonio River Authority, somebody that's coming in here to conduct business for the county.
Right, but like I'm saying, is your office going to?
No, like when the sheriff's doing it for Border Store, he'll come let in his Border Star, I'll come let in my people. And if somebody else wants to have a meeting and they want to use one of these rooms,
Are you talking about like outside companies, like if HEB wants to have a
no,
staff meeting?
I'm talking about county business
Okay.
only. County, the agenda specifically says county business. HEB, if they want to donate goods to the food pantry and they tell me they need a place to leave them, I'll come open the door and take their food. I would assume that would be county business. But other than that, no, just county business, nothing but county business. I
So
just
you
need,
keep the dates after hours, and
I'll
everybody
keep-
that's gonna set one is gonna be in charge of their own.
yes, it's got to be a county employee that will come in and let these people in and let them conduct their business.
And the other part was we just didn't know, and so when they got here, nobody knew why they were here. If the rest of the building could know, and that way if we need to leave the
They had a
doors.
big old flyer up on the window, so I thought everybody knew. But I didn't, they sent out emails to all of us. We all got, I mean, not emails, postcards. I just want it known, so like, if somebody wants to use it, like I said, I'm willing to keep the calendar, but it's got to be a county employee to come let them in and out.
I'll make a motion, we approve the use of multi-purpose room for meeting room located at 210.
The other one's the meeting room. If one's busy, there's another one. There's the other meeting room.
West Calvert. Business for county business and needs benefit for the county, Evan for the county.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries 4-0. Will you please say that they can sign with Sylvia to let them know, so we don't have two people in there at the same time? Or trying to be, I mean, not like, I mean, it would happen one time, I don't know. Number 19 is acknowledgement on records that the county judge will approve the bonds of Commissioners Shelby Dutnick and James Rosales, Section 81002 of the local government code. That's okay, I can walk over there and sign them. Number 20 is discuss, approve, disapprove Karnes County entering into a contract with Tyler Technologies Incorporated and Karnes County Clerk's Office for software, professional service, maintenance agreement, third-party contract, and general terms and conditions. And that's, I put Carol Sweezy, but I forgot Herb. It was supposed to be Herb and Carol. Right? Did you get it done?
It was Carol and I.
Did you get it done?
I looked at the contract was fine.
Where is it?
Sorry, I don't have it.
It's in my office. I will bring it back.
Okay, we'll bring it back. All right, then let's go to,
Can you approve signing it, or do you want to
we
look
need to
at
see
it?
it. Okay. Number 21 is to discuss, approve, disapprove adding a rail to the jury box in the multipurpose room located at 210 West Calvert. The cost to be discussed and determined due to safety issues. A budget amendment will be necessary for this item, and it's Herb.
This is just a request on behalf of myself that I be allowed to contact some folks who do this kind of work, get a cost estimate as to what is necessary to put a rail between the jury box and the rest of the courtroom for safety reasons only. I know of but one person who has fallen because of the different elevations in the courtroom, and the fact that there is a color problem as far as distinguishing between steps and the floor itself. It's not a request at this time to amend any budget. It's not a request to do anything other than to ask that we look into it, or that I look into it, come back with you with a proposed plan after I talk to the district judges and those that are involved and make a determination. as to what should or should not be done on the rails only. Pete has worked on it, and we need to talk to him also about what needs to be done. There's been a funding issue between, I think, maybe some discussion between the general contractor as to whether or not he's going to do the work or not. We just need to do something to solve this problem. It is an issue that is one of safety for those who are using that facility.
You know, Herb, can we just put this back on here when you have an idea of what you're going to do or how you're going to do it? Because there's really nothing to approve now.
What we've got into in the past is I've started doing something and I get accused of trying to run the county commissioner's court business. So I just want to have the permission of the commissioner's court to go forward. You might say I'm a little gun shy right now. I've just gotten started, but in 3 months I've learned that much.
Jump, Herb, jump.
Herb, you might contact TCI,
Who's that?
the state, at Huntsville, they have these court rails ready to be made. I don't know.
This is what I'm talking about. If I could just have the permission of the court to go forward with finding out what, what the cost is going to be, how we can handle it. If we can contact the TCI, they may be able to get the information for us. But I don't want to get involved in collecting something and get into a wreck over that collection process. So that's my
What are you
reason.
collecting?
Huh?
What are you collecting?
Information
Information on the cost.
on cost and what is available for us.
I don't have a problem with that.
I fully understand that, Herb, and I'll make a motion that we give Attorney Herb Hancock authority to collect information of cost of the jury ring.
But we'd have to be modifying number 21, because that's not what it states there. Right?
What do you mean?
Is that where we're at? 21 rights.
We're not going to add a rail, we're just going to give you permission to go hunt. Is that what you're saying?
Right, we
Go
have
collect
to, we have to
information.
modify the motion. Because that isn't what,
That's correct.
what Pete read is not what it states
You want me to read
here.
exactly as it says?
No, you want to just let him go collect information, Pete? Was that?
Yes.
I think we could do that without a motion, could we?
Yes.
I mean, what do you know, Judge?
I think he can.
And I might add, this is a concern of Judge Saxton, because she talked to me about it.
Of the rating?
Yes.
I mean,
you understand?
yes, sir.
This is outside of county attorney business,
Yes, sir.
and if I do it, the possibility of somebody threatening to sue me is 10
Just
to
get
1.
used to that.
So that's
So
the
you want a
problem I'm faced
blessing,
with.
you want a blessing from the court?
That's exactly right. That's all I want.
You got our blessing, Herb.
Thank you.
Do we need a motion?
I don't think so. He's just going to go out and talk to people. We can't stop it,
I don't
I think he's
we
just
need
saying he
one.
doesn't want to interfere with our
Right.
business, and he's just making it clear to us that he doesn't want to interfere with Commissioner's Court. Is that correct?
You got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 22 is discussion, presentation, and perceived racial profiling of juvenile probation children, and that's authors Juan and Alex Caballero.
Good morning. The reason why I brought this up is because I was laying in the back listening to what was going on, and all I heard was more of the children this, the children that, the children this. And I did not hear anyone in this court even defend the children. I've heard we love our children, we this and that, but nobody defended the children that are in the juvenile delinquency program. They are there for a reason, and I understand they're there for a reason. They messed up, and they're, paying the price for what they did. But just because they're there doesn't mean that there can be abuse from us adults by putting them in a bind by saying, oh, they're the reason we're not going to do this, or they're the reason we don't want to go into there. They're under control by those people that are running the program of the juvenile delinquency program. They're under control of those people. So to me, I've seen them when I've sat there. They're under control. They're not wandering around. They're not going to pick a fight with anybody that happens to be in the area there and anything like that. but I did not hear anybody defend them. So now I'm glad that I think it was Renee that brought that up, and we're gonna have some kind of program here to help children. And I just took it upon myself, like again, because I was listening in the back, and that's what it sounded to me. And when I asked to speak to Commissioner Rosales, he basically told Tito to remove me out of here, and I went like, I just wanted some clarification on that.
You speak to me with respect when you speak.
Well, I
to me.
always do.
When
I
you
think
don't,
everybody that knows
I will
me-
have you removed.
Everybody that knows me, I'm an ex-military person, I'm retired. I have a lot of respect for anybody who's in a position, and anybody that's spoken to me, anybody that knows me, that's what I do.
I respect everybody.
Okay,
I
but
expect that back.
You had asked me to leave, you asked Tito to remove me, and all of us asking was clarification. So that's why I brought it up here now. But since you removed me, I spoke to somebody else that I trust and admire also, who holds a high position, and she basically told me that no, that wasn't there. The idea was not about the children, it was about something else. So I think what happened, the emotions got some of these people, you know, and that's what they brought the children in, and it really wasn't about that. But listening in the back, that's what it sounded like to me. I didn't know, I don't know, I don't get into, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a wannabe lawyer, I'm not you know, I don't read law things, I'm not a law enforcement officer, I don't sit here and interpret the law or anything like that. I'm simply a citizen, retired, that likes to hear the court, likes to see what goes on in this county. And all I hear here is people that come here and bully you guys, you know, I don't understand them, why? You know, I think the county here has a lot more to do than listen to some people's bullying and stuff like that, but, you know, that happens, we're humans, and I think that's what happens here. I mean, some people just have, like, I think, all the time in the world to come here and agitate everybody else. I'm not one of those. All I wanted was some clarification, and that's all I asked. And it's already been explained to me, it's a moot point now. You know, and I understand that it wasn't about the children, it was about something else. But like I said, if you stand in the back, listen to some of this, it sounds like something totally different. You know, until you get into the things. And now I understand you might have been upset or something because of, it's emotionally charged. A lot of this stuff is emotionally charged. I don't. Nothing bothers me.
I was not upset, sir.
Well, like I said, I was spoken to, I think everybody here that knows me, I think they've seen me or something. I'm not the type of person that goes in and gets all upset about anything and riled up. I simply ask questions. Why is this done a certain way? And if somebody explains it to me, I'm satisfied. You know, if it's explained to me, you know, that's all it requires. A lot of people just an explanation. And it would have been a moot point after that. But like I said, it wasn't. So I had to make sure that it's not brought up again. The children, I think, are not to blame for anything that we adults do. Okay. That's the only reason I brought this up. Thank you very much.
Okay, just a minute, sir. I'll let you speak.
Oh, go ahead.
Been here a long time and everything. Everybody knows me and everything. I would never, sir, never disrespect you or disrespect anybody else. People know me. I would not do that. When you came up to me, Mr. Pete, I was with me, and I was talking with Mr. Rene Pena. They were both right there, right beside me. You called me a racist against Mexicans. I let you speak, sir.
Okay,
Could
that's
you
what
let
I'm
me
saying.
speak?
I didn't call nobody a racist. I
Wait,
said,
wait,
this
wait.
sounds like, that's what I said. I don't call anybody a racist. I don't believe in that.
I would not sit up here and lie to my people that put me in this
Well,
position.
yeah, I don't believe in calling that. I don't call people.
I did not interrupt you, sir.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
I know
don't
what
do
you're
that.
saying, but I'm not here to fight with you.
Okay,
You're a
but that's what I'm
citizen and
saying.
I respect you, but
It's mutual.
I've earned the respect.
And it's very
And
mutual.
when you come
I
up to
respect your
me
position, sir.
in my court and call me racist, or that I'm racist against Mexicans, those are your exact words, Mr. Rene, could you let me speak?
But
I've respected you.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not a coward. If I said something, I'll say it.
Go ahead.
Mr. Rene Pena was there, and Pete Yauer was there. I would never talk about either children. I have an 11-year-old boy right now that's in DAEP, which is that juvenile facilities. Last year, my daughter was there for a reason too. She was 14 when she was in there. They're my children. I love them. If they're there or they're not, if they're in 4-H or they're there, they're still my children. That's why I got upset. I have a boy, 11 years old, that's in there right now. You sit up there and call me racist in my court and say that I'm racist against a Mexican. My children they're not just Mexican Americans. They have other, other bloodlines. I don't see, I would never be racist against anybody. I don't even see colors until somebody mentions it to me. The only reason that I did get upset, and I did get upset, I'm going to be honest with you, I did, and I apologize for that. But don't ever come to my court and call me racist.
Okay, I did not say racist, I said the situation itself to be presented that way, and that's all I said. Now, if misinterpreted, fine, then both of us are in error. And then,
I'm not in error, I'm a man. If I said something, I'll admit it.
well, I did not say it, I'm just telling you, know that I said it can be led or perceived to that situation, that we are racist.
Okay.
And I don't think anybody here is anymore. I think it's a matter of just clarifying, that's all I ask, to clarify.
Well, my apologies.
And I do
if I got upset.
apologize if you felt that I said that. I do apologize.
And my
That's not-
apologies that I got upset.
Yeah, that's not what I said, but that's, like I said, sometimes you can perceive. Like I said, I use the word perceive. You perceive that I said that, that's not what I meant. I meant that it could be perceived, the whole situation could be perceived. We don't want that. You know, it just adds more to all the soup that's going on.
Yes, sir.
And I wouldn't want that, and I know you don't want that either.
Nope, I sure
Okay, so
don't.
we're clear? I think both of us are clear.
We're clear, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Where are you going, John?
No, I'm sorry, and I apologize to you. If you felt that way, I apologize.
We're not done.
You're shaking his hand.
No, like I said, thank you, but like I said, and anybody that knows me, Pete knows, I respect the positions. I will never do something like that. Now, if it felt that way, I do apologize again.
No problem,
Not
sir.
everybody.
No problem.
That's not, wasn't my intention to sound that way.
Well, thank you for coming to the court and
So
explaining.
thank you very much.
I missed the whole thing. Okay, the next.
One,
Yes,
I
sir.
will say, I did not hear what you said to James. I didn't hear what he said to you. I was talking there and I didn't
Right.
hear. That, I don't know what word you said. But I will say this, I have told several people that when those kids are there in the program, they're supervised and that they've always been respectful to me. When I talk to them, there'll be someone sitting around there and I'll just talk to them. And they've always been respectful to me. But that's all I can say
That's-
about
that's
it.
very
So in defense of them, maybe I should have got up and said that in court. but I didn't.
They are always supervised. I don't know
Yes.
where Neva's, there is never, those kids do not move without constant supervision. They actually did we had help me, a juvenile probation, juvenile board meeting, and Judge Saxon was bragging on the fact, and Sylvia got to go look at it. I asked Sylvia to go look because I didn't get to go. They were hosting a garden show in Floresville, and they raised over $10,000. And the children got out and worked it themselves. Those children are not embarrassed to be seen. They're not embarrassed of who they are.
They wear
And
the
they
same
need some
uniform.
guidance and some direction. That doesn't make them bad.
No, that's
And,
right.
I mean, they work the food bank for us. They load food in people's cars. They planted all the crepe myrtles down Main Street. I mean, if anybody's ever seen that, the little cubby holes with the plants and whatever, and the crepe myrtles and the trees, they join forces with the garden club. And everybody, you know, I don't think that the children feel embarrassed at all. They feel good. They feel their self-worth by the stuff that they've done. I mean, going out and planting those trees, that's big for those kids. That garden, they work in the public. They're not embarrassed for people to see them in their fatigue. They don't mind paying their consequences. They're not harboring ill feelings towards anybody. I've said before, and I said it after court, and I got chastised for it. Kids are like us. We've all made bad decisions. I mean, I don't think they've done anything more than anybody else sitting in this room.
Like I said, a lot of them
So-
don't have the resources that other people have, so.
And that's right, and I think a boost in the right direction. Donnie Montemayor made a statement about how we could join forces and we could, you know, we could each learn from each other, and I believe that's totally true. And but thank you for speaking on. I'm off my soapbox about it, because I like those
Thank you.
kids.
Thank you.
Morales.
Thank you.
What did I call him? Mr. Juan? Mr. Morales. I'm sorry. The next item on the agenda is acknowledgement of certificate of course completion by Shelby Dubnik for his Open Meetings Act training. That's Shelby's sleeve. Give it back to him after you stand it. Do the thing. And then the next item on the agenda is acknowledgement of certificate of completion for Alfredo Tito Vidori for the following intermediate use of force, cultural diversity, identity crimes, and special investigative projects. Mr. Vidori spent a whole couple of days doing some training for us. He's probably the most well-trained officer we got in this county. We're very, very lucky to have Mr. Vidori, and he does bring us all his certificates anytime he goes somewhere. So I'm really, really happy, and will you put those on file for us? Mr. Vidori, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
The next is, you know what, let's go backwards for a second, back to that
Number 20.
number 20. This is an agreement with Tyler Technology for software.
We approved that at budget time, and we're just now getting on their schedule.
Carol, did you bring 2 originals? Do you want to, you know what? You need to send them an original and keep an original.
Yes.
Do you want me to, if they approve this, and we can make a copy, and then we can sign it? You okay? Hi.
I'll make another signature page.
That's, yeah.
So you need a motion?
We need a, do you want to see it? Herb looked at it. I
I
trust
did
Herb
read
and
it.
Ross, we're good to go. Did you look at it? Did you actually read it? It's
Yes.
awful thick. I want to know
I
if
did
you
read
actually
it.
looked at it page by page. You looked at
I
each individual
promise
page?
It does. It is.
I'll make a motion that we approve the enter into a contract with Tyler Technologies Inc. and the Karnes County Clerk's Office of Software Professional Services Maintenance Agreement.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, motion carries 4-0.
Can you
table editing?
I think I'll change it. You'll come down and sign it.
2. Let me make sure we've done everything. Did we catch everything back? We've gone all the way back.
25.
We're at 25, we're at the tax collector's report, Brenda.
Our collections for the month of February for the county. The current month, $1,297,761.59. Total for the year, $7,710,469.66. Total current roll collected, 95.7582%. The delinquent roll for the county, the month of February, $10,768.05. Total for the year, $47,066.96 for a collection rate of 23.6164%. For the road and bridge, for the month of February, $310,879.03. Total for the year, $1,847,997.42. Percent collected, 95.8%. The delinquent roll for the road and bridge, for the month of February, $1,174.64. Year to date, $5,341.28. Percent collected, 28.6539%. For rural fire, month of February, $161,417.54. Year to date, $964,280.20. Percent collected, 95.7%. The delinquent roll for the rural fire, $691.94 for the month of February. Year to date, $3,057.51 for the delinquent roll collected at 32.4299%.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you.
Next is Vi. Vi asked me to skip her till next time.
Well, I got.
You are coming.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Our things didn't jive, so I'm not gonna give my, report other than some other things off of the report. So that I'll have that on the March 28th meeting. Just some of the things that we've been doing in the county. Zumba will begin this Monday at 5:30 for county employees only. Herb is working on the waiver for that. As part of that, with the Weight Watchers program, we did have enough people to start the program to date. We have lost 42 pounds altogether, so we're doing very well with that. I'm working on with Christy, with Jess Williams' office, to get everybody online for the Vitality program. Since we've been starting these programs, if we get everybody lined up on the Vitality program, we can lower our premiums 5 to 6% in the renewal of next year. So we really need to get on with that. Shelby and I had a little meeting yesterday. Marianne Signs will be coming soon, hopefully, to work with the employee handbook, and on the salary survey also, she's giving them someone to contact concerning that. We did have the auction this past Saturday. Roughly $22,900 is what we collected. Everything needs to get out today. And also Shelby is working with TDCJ, I believe, to get some people to come help finish cleaning up the rest of it. So everything's moving along.
Yeah, how much is road and bridge and how much is?
No, Luana still has to audit everything, and we've both been kind of crazy the last couple of days. So, do we do separate on road and bridge?
We'll receive them
Separately, yes. Yeah, I'll get the final put on that. Thank you.
That was an odd treasury report.
Yes, it was an odd report. No money involved.
Thank you, Doug.
Luana, do you have an itemized statement on the elevator?
That is our maintenance agreement with them.
That's just maintenance?
That is an annual maintenance and inspection agreement that we have had ever since the elevator has been installed. We need to make sure if there's ever issues with the elevator, that that's who's called for repairs, is Otis Elevator. I know we've used
$6,098
Did it not work
annual
fine?
maintenance?
See, what happened is on that elevator, where grandfather claused in about some little thing it has in it, some little bumper. They explained it to me on the phone, but I know that where grandfather claused in, and if that elevator ever ceases to work, we can't put it back in operation. So we have to have that yearly maintenance agreement that says,
I know in the past, within the last couple of years, another vendor has been contacted to do things. I think it's called McPherson. I'm not sure if that's the name or not, but because we do pay this contract, this is who we ought to utilize for any repairs or updates or anything.
Yeah, we should have stayed overtime. I agree with that. But I thought that's an odd amount, $6,098.04 for annual maintenance.
There is an invoice if you'd like to look at it. The inference has been made in a previous meeting about bills being approved with the court not knowing what they're approved. I just want to reiterate, all bills are available for viewing by commissioners or any other individual that would like to look at them in our office. So technically, anybody that approves a payment out of this county are things that are being approved. They may not know the detail of it because they have chosen not to come look.
I think I was making reference to detail on it. And one of the reasons that I did make the reference to details when we were talking, I'm going to clarify myself, is that when we were talking about scanners and stuff, you were talking about people having surplus scanners and things like that. So people do have money in their budgets to be able to buy stuff that other people aren't able to have. And that's all that I was pointing out. So if the sheriff's office would like to investigate me, or the DA's office would like to investigate me because I mentioned scanners or copiers or something, I don't even know where that inference would come from. And at one time, we had people that did have extra office supply funds in there, and it caused a big boo-boo about a large amount of chairs being bought. Nobody from Commissioner's Court ever even knew it. $4,000 in one department, $2,000 in another. Those were the things I was making inference to.
Well, those were included in bills. They were not paid out of cycle, and if they would have wanted to look, they could have looked.
But what I'm alluding to, or what I'm saying, I'm not alluding to anything. What I'm stating is if somebody makes a purchase and somebody's disgruntled with that person at that time, they bring that purchase forward. But if somebody makes a purchase and everybody's fine for it, nobody brings it forward, and it just gets passed through bills very easily. And no, we don't, as commissioners, have time to sit there and go through every single invoice. I don't think any of these guys, or I do, as we do our jobs, have time to sit there and go, okay, this is for this, this is for this, this is for this. We would never do that. I think we all have more sense than that.
But the opportunity is there should you desire to look. Everything in this cycle is pretty run-of-the-mill expenditures. Nothing, no major purchases or anything else. The total out of this cycle is $98,814.18. That is a small expenditure cycle because of the fact that we just had court last week, so there hadn't been time for many bills to come in. So I anticipate the March 28th bill cycle to be large.
One, on the EMS, it says here, the DeWitt Pope and Sons for EMS, what's that for?
Different type of office supplies.
Okay, just supplies, not just okay. Thank you.
Make the motion to pay the bill as presented.
I'm gonna abstain from,
Just your stuff,
yeah.
but you can do
Yeah,
with the rest of
I just
it.
wanna make it with me for that note.
Because if you ever do that, and there's three of us here, we just want you to know you're saying your stuff, so we can put it back on the next time. Do you know anything?
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
you, find your,
I know, I just don't want.
right, I understand what you're saying. I understand, but I want it clarified, because it,
I gotta send it to you.
yes.
I need to start carrying people.
No, I have plenty of them in there, I can give them to you all. Don't give them my pen, give them the paper. The next item on the agenda,
You had a motion, but I didn't have a second. Somebody second it?
Somebody second it?
I second it.
Yeah, I think, right?
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, motion carries 4-0. Number 28 on the agenda is report of fees, fines, and money collected by the following departments. Carol's total for the month is $53,267.42. Did you finish one of your own, Carol?
I did, yes.
District clerk, do you have yours, Denise?
Yes.
Did you leave it up here and I don't see it?
No, I have it.
Oh, it's in your hands?
Yeah. So I gave you mine. And it's just nice and little. Did you come here? No.
I just need to look different.
Thank you.
Did you hand Carol a copy?
Yes, she has it. And, let's see. On my civil report, I collected a total of $10,746.40, and that is the breakdown. That's this one here. This one here. And my criminal report, it was $26,873.50, and there's my breakdown there. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. County Attorney, do you have, I have this Crabtree's, do you want to read it?
I don't need to read it unless you,
I think people like to know just restitution today that the merchants are getting their money back. That, and I like to tell y'all, at least, it looks like we're trying to at least work for them. Not that we are trying, we are working for them. I'm sorry, I misphrased that. From 1/1/13 to 2/28/13, Mrs. Crabtree has collected $10,073.42 to return to the merchants. And it's just, wherever she is, good for her. Last year at this time, she collected $9,458.30. She does a year-to-date comparison every time. I'm sorry, I'll give it to you, take it back. The next one is Justices of the Peace. Daisy, did you want to do yours? Are you standing back there? Do you want to do your own? Do you want to come do it? I have one.
If you turn to the second page, you will see that there was 206 cases filed in my court. And if you turn to the last page, it'll show we collected $59,394.50. The amount kept by the county was $41,770.80. And the amount remitted to the state is $17,623.70.
I want to, I visited with Daisy one day, and she explained to me this report best that I can, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
There's a lot of stuff that I never realized that went on in doing all this and what all the JPs do.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dudek, for taking the time to do that. I know Commissioner Rosales has also come in and visited with me. And, I really appreciate it, and I'm sure the other JPs also.
And I have Mr. Sotelo, I have January and February. Do you want to do them, or you just want me to say? You got them? Did you bring you a copy?
Yeah, I have a copy.
Okay.
Copy. And I know you have to Thank you.
Here, she can have mine.
I have one.
Oh, I thought you said I need to bring her one. I have plenty of paper.
For the month of February, the new cases filed in JP4 court was 64, and the total collected was $18,148.30. The amount kept by the county was $13,519.09, and remitted to the state was $4,629.21. That was for February. Thank you.
I saw Caroline, was she here to do a report or was she just visiting?
She had to go to the village magistrate.
The next is juvenile, and Neva just left it here. Where'd it go? Oh, did you keep it? That's it. That was it. Let's see. That'd be Martha. Oh, I don't want to see that. So that was just for you. Never mind. Neva was not coming in for the reason I thought she was coming in. Special projects?
She gave us
Oh, did Neva just, oh, never mind. You're right, Shelby. I bet I
have
just,
it there?
you know what, I bet I dumped it in the rest of the, I bet I dumped it up the fields. Is that hers? I have special projects, not Neva's.
Oh, special project.
Yes, I have hers. We were talking about Neva.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Helen.
Okay, special projects on development, we had 31 permits for a total of $875. On septic, we had 11 permits for a total of $4,300.
Thank you, Helen. Hey, Helen.
Thank you, ma'am.
Helen. On septic tank issues in the man camps, on permitting, can we assess a permit fee for those RVs? Do you know, have you talked to anybody from Wilson County to see what they're doing?
They're doing like
For space.
per space. We do just one for the whole,
Is there a way we can do something like that?
I think it has to be put in the rules and stuff that we will.
Can you get a copy of what somebody else is doing? Can you see, I mean, do you talk to those people?
Once in a while when I have to ask a question, like mostly it's Wilson County that I talk to.
Wilson County has theirs addressed in their subdivision ordinances to address.
Does the sewer have to be, sewer permit have to say how many spaces they're putting in?
They let me know how many, but like I said, we're just charging one fee per septic tank. That's how our septic works. If you put one, it's one fee. If you're putting two, then it's 2 fees. But as far as us charging for every RV space, we don't do that.
I think they figured septic tank per trailer per space. I'm not, don't quote me for sure, but I believe I talked to Greg one day. He said they figured 75 gallons per day.
Per trailer?
It was 40.
It's 45.
I think it went to
was 40.
75.
I'm just, you know, I don't know. I don't know if there is a way or if there's not a way. It's just a question. And I'm asking you if you'll look. That's what I'm
Yeah,
asking.
I'll call Wilson County on it.
Would you please? And see what you come back with. Jeffrey, you're next. Number 29, report from Road and Bridge.
I'm not going to give y'all a quick one today because the foreman didn't hand in their paperwork on time to get a report. I want to go through, we're working on the 354, the one that runs to Arthur Rayantos down there. We're working with Murphy right now. We're just about complete with the dirt phase of the road, hauling the caliche out. Got caliche rock on that road. We're going to do the pavement as soon as we get through with the top part. And any of you guys want to go out with me, go out. I know Shelby and me and you went out on a trip looking at roads, but y'all want to go out with me and look at what we've done in the last 3-4 months on hauling roads up and stuff. There's quite a bit getting done. Right now, we're not doing a lot of blading. It's too dry. I can't get enough water hauled on these roads, especially with the wind that we've been having. We've been having a lot of problems with getting enough water and then hauling water distances. Shelby helped me out on one place where you told me there was water. It did help out close. I appreciate that. With the auction, we had Mr. Bud Box do our advertising for us on the internet. And we got buyers from abroad that came in and did buy some equipment and stuff, and that did help for get rid of the equipment and stuff. stuff, and then the auctioneer, I think, did real good for us also, so that, I think he paid for himself on what he did for us.
Jeff, we did get HT&V back. I got it Friday.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was calling you for, to ask you those questions about. Did you?
told me?
I did, but it's okay. I read it this weekend. They gave it to me Friday and wanted feedback by yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So I did it this weekend. But my question being on some of that, they came up with a figure, and I just want to ask you if they told you this figure. Because Shelby looked at part of the report with me, and I know that Pete, they just saw it because I handed them the book.
Oh,
And I let
okay.
them look at it. You know, one downloaded it, one looked at the book. But they had on there something about $1 million to $1.8 million a mile for road repair.
To pave the road.
That's paved road that I took them on that one paved road. I went out, there was 7 gentlemen that I went out with, and 2 of them were engineers, and one was a civil engineer, and we went out and looked at the roads, and they wanted to see the paved roads, and we stayed out 3/4 of the day. And I took them out on the Fall City Cemetery Road, which is 211, and they asked me when the road was basically built, when it was repaved, and I had some of the information because I remember when it was done, previous county commissioners that had done it. And we went through it. They took pictures of the road and everything and looked at it, and they were just amazed on how everything is getting tore up in the county. We went on some farm market roads. We went on a lot of county roads, and I told them on one county road that we approached, I told them if anybody has faults, to take them out and put them in their pockets, because that's how bad some of the roads are. They got a very good glimpse of Karnes County, and what you're asking on the approval of repairs, that might be contractors and everybody and all the
Well,
material.
I was like $1.8 million a mile. That
They,
was,
well, when I looked at the stuff, and I interpreted it to be this, they were coming back with, increasing the asphalt to carry the truck, the heavy
Yes,
what
truck
had to be
traffic.
that is-
concrete, limestone, steel, structures.
Yes,
But
you're looking at 10 inches of concrete stabilized base material. You're looking at replacing some culverts, some bridges, we're saying concrete fields that have to be added on. The road's not wide enough in places. Bring everything back up to specs, the way it should be, state rules and regulations. That's what they're going by.
They're saying for county roads.
Right.
Okay.
And if you get that, the engineers look at that, that's what you're gonna be doing, and that's what, where a lot of your cost comes in. And you're talking about assessing all your bar ditches, redoing everything, and even place this possibility of widening your roads, so you do have the passage for your 18-wheelers. And it also, what they were stating to me is put down 6 inches of hot base material, asphalt, and that's compacted. That's basically the way they're building your main highways. And that's what it'll actually be built for, to hold the amount of the weight. And what the good part about it was that day we went out on that road was the amount of traffic that road was carrying. We all parked in the bar ditch, and it was just like that, and it was a good deal.
Y'all went out to the Fall City Cemetery Road?
Yes, ma'am.
They omitted Fall City from the study. They said we had 3 municipalities, so I did send them an email to ask them to please include Fall City and Karnes County.
Well,
That's a road they picked, actually.
can we, being that you mentioned about the traffic, was the Texas Transportation Institute out of College Station, they met the other day down here and talked with them. They're wanting to they're doing a survey on different counties, and they might be looking for volunteers to help do traffic counts. They're looking at, they've identified certain roads. I think you may have talked with him.
Yes, matter of fact, I had a phone call this morning, and what they're talking about doing is what you said on the survey of the county, and like take an employee and put them in a truck and just sit there and actually count what is happening on the road.
Well, and they're counting the placards, what the trucks are hauling,
yes.
the type of truck, a tanker,
Right.
box car, whatever, haulers and stuff like that, to also.
See what is going through the county, and what they want to know through the county, down the county roads, everywhere.
And they're picking out major roads.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Had a phone call yesterday from Congressman, I got it written down. He called and was asking about
Rosa?
yes, and he was asking me about roads and stuff. It sounds like he's real involved in the county. It was one of his, not his office, actually, one of the guys called.
Chris Gonzalez?
Most probably it was. But anyway, he asked some questions and stuff about what's going on, and he told me to stay above water. I said, no, sir, we're not staying above water no more. We're staying above the dust.
And that too, with the dust, guys, we need to start looking at either, to me, certain areas, certain other houses are getting this dusted out. We may need to just start trying to get some type of dust suppressant or something, and may have to incorporate into the budget next year for more of that, because you're not going to be able to keep up with what's going on. But we need to control the dust in some of these houses, you know, on some of these houses.
Shelby and Pete were at the one that we tried over here on 184, which is a very high traveled road. And so far, it seems like it's doing the job it needs to. If you notice your dust, what Rick was talking about, the dust goes up, but it does not go very far. It comes back down because it's heavy, it will not travel. We used, on that road was different oil mixtures, I forget all their ingredients. Right, they used all kinds of stuff on that. Then in County Road 228 in front of Mr. Yanta's, outside of Fall City, we took and used right in front of his house. All the company come out and use the product that's called polymer. And polymer, I'm kind of scared of it because it puts a plastic film on the road. And you can take this piece, have it no bigger than a 50-cent piece, and put it on the dash of your truck, and you can stretch it out almost a foot and throw it back up on the dash, and before you know it, it's back down to the size that it was. But what scares me and Shelby both, we were looking at it and talking about it, what I'm scared about it, when it rains or you get that dust and everything on it, what I'm scared of is how slippery is it going to be? Are you going to even be able to stand on it? But it's holding the dust down. Then outside of on 390 down there, Crusher down there by Frankie Kravitz's, the company over there took into the Wilson Karnes County line. They put out oil type basement dust surfactant on that road, and it's still there also, Shelby. It's holding up and it's doing its job. So, but some of it has to be reactivated. You have to go put water back out on it, a little bit of water, and what it does. And this stuff here on 184, what it does in the morning, it picks the moisture off the land and the air, and it reactivates itself. It works good through the midday, but if you got a hot, dry day, blowing wind, you actually need to put a little water on it to reactivate it to make it work like it's supposed to work. So we're learning a lot of new stuff out there, making plans for some of this, what's going on. We could get enough people where we could finish some of these jobs we got started, and the jobs that are non-foreseeable here lately, it looks like that's all we've been doing is picking trees off the roads. I've had a tree crew, as a matter of fact, yesterday in the evening we had to go move a tree that fell. This drought is really putting a lot of stress on all the vegetation out there, and we got trees laying everywhere. But that's what's been going on, and like I said, I invite any of you guys that want to go out with the judge. You're also welcome. Y'all want to take a ride, I'd like to show you all some of the roads we did. We're kind of pretty proud of what we are accomplishing. We're getting there. The new equipment is helping a lot because we're not in the yard working on equipment. We're actually going out and we're working. Like I said, right now we got equipment. Some of the maintainers are sitting because I don't have enough to get water in. I do have a water truck release today. We're trying to fix some roads that are real bad, and we're trying to catch up with some of this. I was hoping for rain, but weathermen lied to me, they didn't give it to me. So, but that's where we're standing with a lot of this stuff, but we're going forward. Anything else?
Thanks, Jeff.
Tawana, are you waiting or are you going?
As Vi mentioned, we are not submitting our formal reports until the end of the month due to some differences. But I do want to let y'all know I have hired another assistant auditor. Her name is Gina Curry. She has quite a bit of accounts payable and accounts receivable experience. I feel like she'll be a good fit for the position. We have received charges from Dodds and Associates for the phone system changes associated with the moves of the offices. That is the internal phone systems. That is nothing from AT&T yet or anything on the computers yet, but that cost is $2,100. We've got some issues that we are going to need to address by budget amendment for Road and Bridge. There's some equipment purchases and equipment rental that have not previously been included in the current budget. I guess that can be put on the 28th agenda to discuss. The surplus auction, as Vi reported, we did have a good monetary turnout. It has not been totally audited yet. We were jumping through hoops yesterday trying to get some of the titles transferred on some of the vehicles purchased. We are not allowing the release of any titles until checks cleared, if anybody paid with checks. We did have one vehicle sold that was not declared as surplus. I've gone back through the 3 agendas, November 9th, January 31st, and February 22nd, that declared surplus items, and one vehicle was sold that was not declared surplus, just for y'all's information. And also, although I don't have a copy of the email in front of me from Mr. Fisher of Denton Navarro, except et al., the special counsel for Karnes County, that was dated March 3rd, that Barbara read earlier, in regards to the Commissioner's Court amending the budget and his inference towards the county auditor. The county auditor, as long as I've held this position, has always implemented and expended funds based on any budget amendments approved by Commissioner's Court. And anytime there is a budget amendment on the agenda, I have consistently pointed out the local government code 111.010 to the court, so they are aware of their obligations to amend the budget.
Luana, just before you leave to break down that money on the phones, would you break that down, please?
$2,100
Yes.
to Dodds is the only bill I have so far.
But it was for the different offices, it wasn't for one specific office. I believe 625, 625, because I did call Freeman, 625.
There were 2 625s and 2 210s, I believe.
That wouldn't come up to $2,100.
Well, I do not have them in front of me because they are not up for payment.
I just don't want it reported that they're all mine.
I said for the movement of the offices.
Just clarifying that. The next one is Shelby.
Okay, as Vi reported, I've been talking with Mary Ann Sanchez-Thompson, or Science Thompson. I think, yeah.
Signs Thompson, she's got
Yeah. Anyway, on the employee handbook, and also she's providing some information for a salary survey, so I've been working with Vi on that. And we're going to be going forward. That's all I have.
Okay, on the, this building, I reported that we had the final bill from Don Kruger, and discrepancies have all been worked out, and that's the one to check, and we're in agreement on it. Should be finished. I had an email from David Vogel who said it was different than his records. So we have an email here to David Vogel we're going to send. It's okay, Luana, to send it. And it states that the amount requested $18,000 larger than the balance of application number 23 RTGG, as Karnes County had previously withheld some payment due to unfinished items of our agreement for liquidated damages settlement. These differences have been resolved, and we are in agreement with Don Kruger Construction to make this payment and attain final closure. So we're trying to get final closure with David Vogel. He said he has a package of guarantees that he had still gotten for us, and he was going to deliver them or send them to us or something, and we're going to be through it. So hopefully we'll get finished with Mr. Vogel.
The next one is James.
Everything's going fine at the recycling center. I've been having regular meetings with Jesse. His back has been giving him a little bit of problem, but he's getting better on it. Besides that, Junior's working fine out there, so we're doing fine.
Luana, do we need a budget amendment for the dogs?
Yes, we will have to do all the,
Will you let me know, because I don't have it for the...
once I have all the costs, then we'll amend all at one time.
And then the next one is Tracy, and Tracy's not here, so the next item on the
He did
agenda.
leave his report, his permit report.
What is
If you
it?
want to read it, it's $53,464.10 for
Good for
February.
Tracy. The next item on the agenda is to adjourn.
I'll make it.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
There's one thing, there's gonna be a, TxDOT is gonna have a press conference between here and Annex on Friday at 1 o'clock. They'll have a 18-wheeler simulator out there on the street. Anyone interested? Yeah. I don't know what all it's gonna be about, but it's TxDOT sponsoring the press conference.
Just that, I don't know if you guys seen, you guys talking about the roads. About 2 months ago, they had a thing on the news about what an 18-wheeler does to your roads. And one 18-wheeler at 60,000 pounds, which is a normal weight for an 18-wheeler that's just loaded with cargo, is equal to 5 billion cars going over the road.